Growth today doesn't fail because of a lack of ideas. It fails because of fragmentation. Too many agencies, too many tools, too many dashboards, and not enough ownership of the outcome. A brand hires one partner for performance marketing, another for content, another for CRM, someone else for analytics. And suddenly, growth becomes this messy group project where everyone is doing something, but no one is responsible for the final grade. And leadership is left asking, why does it still feel disconnected? Why are we spending so much but learning so little? Why does execution feel slower, not faster? Welcome to Growth Diggers, the podcast where we dig beneath surface level tactics and talk about the systems, partnerships, and decisions that actually move growth forward. I'm Taran, founder and CEO at Growth Natives, and today we're unpacking one of the biggest shifts reshaping the agency ecosystem right now: the rise of the full stack agency, and more importantly, why partnerships are winning in 2026. Joining me is Akanksha Das, Director of Marketing and Communications, someone who sits at the intersection of brand, growth, and business outcomes. She works closely with leadership and partnerships teams to ensure that storytelling, demand, and strategy aren't just aligned, but actually drive results. Akanksha, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Taran. Really excited to be here. This is honestly one of the most important conversations growth leaders need to have right now.
Let's start with the basics. The term full stack agency gets thrown around everywhere today. Almost every agency claims to be full stack. So, in practice, what does that actually mean?
Yeah, it's definitely become a buzzword. But at its core, a full stack agency is one that owns the entire digital growth lifecycle, from strategy and creative to technology, analytics, automation, and continuous optimization, not as separate departments working in silos, but as one integrated team accountable for outcomes.
So, instead of working with one agency for branding, another for paid media, another for lifecycle emails, another for CRM, you're working with one partner that's responsible end to end.
Exactly. And the biggest difference isn't that they offer more services, it's that they offer one operating system. Because strategy doesn't live in isolation anymore. It can't just sit in a deck that gets presented once and then forgotten. In a full stack model, strategy lives alongside execution. The same people defining the growth plan are in the room when campaigns launch, when dashboards update, when performance drops, and when experimentation happens.
That's such an important shift. Because the old agency world was basically like an assembly line, strategy team hands off to creative hands off to performance hands off to reporting. And by the time learning comes back, you've already lost a quarter.
Exactly. I always use this analogy. A traditional setup is like hiring separate contractors for plumbing, wiring, interiors, and structure, all working independently. A full stack agency is like hiring one builder with one blueprint, one team, and one shared outcome.
And when everyone is working from the same blueprint, things move faster and mistakes get caught early. So, why is this model accelerating right now? Why does 2026 feel like such a turning point?
Because growth has become dramatically more complex. Buyer journeys aren't linear anymore. A customer might discover you through a LinkedIn post, then read reviews, then attend a webinar, then get nurtured through email, then talk to sales, then disappear, then come back through a retargeting ad. Everything overlaps.
And every channel is influencing every other channel.
Exactly. Plus, AI is reshaping execution. Personalization is now expected, speed is expected, and customers don't care how many vendors you have internally. They just care about experience. The old agency model, fragmented across vendors, can't keep up. It creates silos, it slows decisions. And when results dip, accountability becomes unclear. Everyone is busy, but no one owns the outcome.
That line hits. Busy doesn't equal effective. Full stack agencies emerged as a response to that chaos. They reduce friction by bringing strategy, execution, and measurement under one operating layer.
Exactly. Instead of managing 5 different partners, brands get one partner focused on outcomes, not activities. And that changes everything.
Let's talk about accountability, because this seems like one of the biggest reasons this model works.
It really is. In a full stack model, there's no handoff problem. The same team that defines strategy is responsible for launching it, measuring it, improving it, and scaling it. That shortens feedback loops dramatically.
Right? Fewer assumptions, faster decisions, better learning.
And it eliminates the classic agency phrase, That's not in our scope. Instead, the mindset shifts from delivering tasks to driving results. Teams stop asking, what was assigned, and start asking, what actually worked?
That's when an agency stops being a vendor and starts being a growth partner. Another massive advantage here is unified data.
Absolutely. In traditional setups, data lives everywhere. Ad platforms, CRMs, product analytics, dashboards, spreadsheets, and most of these systems don't talk to each other. So leadership spends more time debating numbers than making decisions.
And everyone has their own version of the truth.
Exactly. Full stack teams bring that data together into one intelligence layer. So insights actually inform action, not just reporting. Data stops being something you look at after the fact and starts becoming fuel for real time decisions.
It changes leadership conversations. You stop debating whose dashboard is correct and start debating what to do next. We also can't talk about 2026 without talking about AI.
Absolutely. And the key shift is this: AI isn't an add on anymore, it's the operating layer. From audience prioritization to content optimization to forecasting, experimentation, internal workflows. AI accelerates every stage of execution.
But AI without integration doesn't create growth, it creates faster chaos.
Exactly. Full stack agencies are uniquely positioned to embed AI across strategy, creative, tech, and analytics, not just in one isolated corner. When AI is embedded end to end, teams don't just move faster, they move smarter.
This brings us to the heart of today's episode: why partnerships beat vendors.
Because modern growth isn't a project, it's a system. Brands don't want one off campaigns anymore. They want partners who evolve with them as the business changes. That's why we're seeing more outcome aligned models. Shared success metrics tied to pipeline, revenue, retention.
It fundamentally changes the relationship. The agency stops being external.
It becomes an extension of the internal team. And when incentives align, execution gets sharper, faster, and more intentional.
Let's make this real. Imagine a SaaS company trying to scale globally.
They have one agency running paid media, another doing content, a CRM consultant managing automation, an internal analytics team building dashboards. Everyone is doing their job, yet growth stalls.
Because no one owns the system end to end.
Exactly. A full stack partner steps in, aligns messaging across channels, connects CRM data to campaign strategy, uses AI to prioritize high intent accounts, optimizes continuously. Same budget, fewer moving parts and better outcomes, clear accountability.
Now, not every agency claiming to be full stack actually is. So, what should leaders look for?
First, strategic depth, not just execution power. Second, technical fluency across CRM, analytics, automation, AI workflows. Third, a measurement culture tied to business KPIs, not vanity metrics. And finally, collaboration. The best partners integrate seamlessly with internal teams instead of operating in silos.
So, what actually changes when brands adopt this model?
Speed is the biggest shift. Ideas move from concept to execution much faster. Decision making improves because insights aren't fragmented. ROI improves because strategy, creative, and technology pull in the same direction. Brands launch faster, learn faster, scale with less operational drag.
As we wrap up, the bigger shift is clear. The rise of the full stack agency isn't about agencies doing more, it's about bringing clarity to growth that's become increasingly complex. Growth today lives in systems, not silos, where strategy, storytelling, technology, data, and execution move together.
And when those pieces come together, growth stops being reactive and starts becoming intentional.
That's exactly why partnerships are winning in 2026, because they create real ownership of outcomes, learning, and long term growth. So, if this conversation got you thinking differently about how you work with agencies or partners, that's a great place to start. Thank you for joining us on Growth Diggers. We'll be back soon with more.